All right, today we're jumping into a story that's pretty much legendary in the tech world. It's a tale about insane growth, a decision that shocked everyone, and the massive fallout that came after. I know. It sounds super dramatic, right? But honestly, in the world of database engineering, that's exactly what people called it. This was the moment a tech titan went head-to-head with a really passionate open source community. So the company at the center of all this was Uber. And in 2016, they didn't just switch some software. Oh no, they made a very public statement that kicked off one of the biggest debates of the decade and totally changed the game for two of the world's most popular databases. Let's go back to the beginning, when things first started to go wrong.
To really get why this whole thing happened, you have to appreciate the kind of pressure Uber was dealing with. I mean, we're talking about a scale of growth that was just almost unheard of.
Think about it, millions of rides every single day. Their system was playing this incredibly complex game of chess, moving drivers and riders all around the planet. And all those rides, they were generating billions of transactions. Every single fare, every payment to a driver, every little GPS ping. It all had to be written down, stored, and then pulled back up in an instant. All of this data was like a tidal wave hitting their system, which, by the way, was built on PostgreSQL. And it was pushing that system to its absolute breaking point. You could just see the cracks forming, and you knew something was about to give. But here's the crazy part. The problem wasn't some obvious bug. It wasn't like a server just wasn't fast enough. No, the issue was way sneakier than that. It was a deep architectural problem that was slowly, silently grinding everything to a halt. Now, let's be really clear about something. PostgreSQL is and was a fantastic database. It's robust, it's reliable, it's beloved for a reason. For 99% of companies out there, it would have been totally fine. But Uber wasn't most companies. The problem was something happening deep down in the guts of the database design, especially when it was hit with Uber's relentless, one-of-a-kind workload. They had, you could say, found an enemy hiding in plain sight. And that enemy has a name, right amplification. So what is that exactly? Well, imagine you need to change just one tiny thing in your data, say a trip status from in progress to complete. Because of how Postgres worked back then, that one tiny logical change could make the system physically write data to the disk over and over again. It's kind of like having to rewrite an entire page in a notebook just to fix one typo. Insane, right? And when you're operating at Uber's scale, all those tiny extra writes on billions of transactions, they add up fast. It meant lag, it meant errors, and it put the whole platform at risk. See, for them, latency wasn't just some technical term. It was costing them cold, hard cash, and maybe even worse, their customers' trust. So this is the moment where the story takes a huge turn. Instead of just fixing the issue quietly, Uber decided to go public with it. And I mean very public. They published a blog post that was basically a detailed breakdown of why PostgreSQL had failed them. And this table here just lays out their whole argument perfectly. On the left, you've got their complaints about Postgres, what they called an inefficient architecture, that killer write amplification we just talked about, and just how much it struggled with their unique workload. And on the right, their hero, MySQL. They argued it gave them predictable performance, and its core engine, called InnoDB, was just built better for the kind of frequent, tiny updates they were doing all day long. For them, it was just a much better fit. The blowback was immediate, and it was fierce. I mean, the entire global community of developers who pour their hearts into building PostgreSQL felt completely blindsided. To them, this wasn't just a technical disagreement. It felt like a public betrayal by a huge company that had been using their free open-source software. That blog post just exploded. Overnight, developers everywhere were taking sides, arguing back and forth about whether Uber's engineers had a point or if they just didn't know how to use the tool properly. It was a full-blown tech civil war. But the story doesn't stop there, because the Postgres community didn't just get mad. They got to work. They took all that public heat and turned it into the beginning of an epic comeback. The whole community rallied together. First, they defended their database. Experts wrote these incredibly detailed posts explaining that Uber's situation was a total edge case, a 1 in a million scenario. But then they did something amazing. They took all that frustration and turned it into motivation. This betrayal became rocket fuel to speed up development and directly fix the very weaknesses Uber had pointed out, leading to massive improvements in later versions. So after all the drama, what was the long-term result of this database war? Well, it turns out that one company's decision sent ripples across the entire tech industry that we still feel today.
This timeline really puts it all in perspective. You've got the big explosion in 2016 with the blog post. But then look what happens. In the years that followed, Postgres released some seriously powerful updates. Versions 10 and 11 in particular were huge, that specifically addressed performance. And now, both databases are more powerful and more popular than ever before.
So in the end, who won? You could actually argue that both sides did. MySQL got this huge credibility boost as the database you choose for absolutely massive web-scale projects. But PostgreSQL, because it was pushed so hard, came back stronger than ever, innovating and winning over tons of developers. The lesson for other companies was pretty clear. Going public with your tech problems is risky. It can force change, for sure, but you might burn some important bridges along the way. So I guess the real takeaway from all of this is that Uber's Great Betrayal, it wasn't just noise. It was a massive public stress test that forced both of these incredible technologies to get even better. The fight, the arguments, the drama, it all pushed the industry forward. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about, right? When you look back at tech history, the browser wars, the console wars, you name it, is it actually this kind of intense public conflict that pushes innovation the hardest? Something to chew on.